Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Court General. We have another episode, but you know I have to get my quote of the day in, and the quote of the day is: "Success doesn't stop when you get the trophy. It starts when you decide to chase the next one." All right, let's get into it. Okay, welcome back to the Court Journal. Today we are joined by none other than Coach Knight, head coach of the Bay Area Breakers. Fresh off a championship slash winning season, Coach, thank you for joining me and congrats on the amazing season and being season three undisputed champs. How are you doing?
Hey, Sniper, thanks a lot for having me. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm doing pretty well, still riding high from that championship run there.
As you should, as you should. And coach, let me be honest with you. I don't have too many people on the court journals because I'm very choosy, and I am inducting you into the court journal family. You are now considered a true court general, so I welcome you in. Not every coach is gonna be on this. You have to win. You have to show some level of court general esqueness and to be on the court journal, and you have definitely done that last year by winning the championship with a 13th seed, and you beat the number two seed Best Coast Ballers. Man, congratulations! Y'all have a good team this year. Y'all had a good team last year, but let's just get into this interview. Coach, take us back to that final buzzer. What was going through your mind when you knew the championship was yours? Did I lose you?
Yeah, there we go. We're back
Okay,
now.
okay. Let me see. Let's see if I can pick up. Okay, Coach, take us back to that final buzzer. What was going through your mind when you knew the championship was yours?
Oh, just kind of disbelief, honestly. I mean, the big thing was we had been working so hard for it all year, and to finally see it come to fruition, it was just kind of words can't describe it. That's what
Mm,
you set out to do from the get go. That's why you come to grind. You got guys like Jay and Jick and Trey just getting after it day in day out, and then you got Shane raining three balls everywhere, and it all just kind of comes together, and it's just something worth beholding at the
mm-hmm.
end
You,
of it. Not really words to describe kind of how it felt other than awesome.
hey man, yeah, I feel you on that. And you said it all kind of came together. But let me ask you this: was there a moment during the season where you knew this group had what it takes to win it all?
Yeah, I think so. I would say probably our last regular season tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was like glue. Everybody filled their role, everybody did their job, and it was like, okay, you know what? All the cylinders are firing. It's time to make this run. We're hot at the right time, and that's kind of right when I knew, like, hey, this team can do this. We just got to stay with it.
Hey, but there's no time like the very end to get everybody on one accord and get everyone going. So that was the best time. I believe that's the best time for any team in any league in any level of basketball to get hot. It's right towards the end, right before everything counts. So it sounds like you're saying y'all got hot right before the tournament started and y'all just carried that momentum over all the way to the championship.
100%. I mean, you look at what Kemba did back when he was at UConn. They got hot during the Big East tournament. It carried all the way to the Natty, and that's kind of what we did in the Bay on the prep level last year. We got hot right at the right time, rolling right
Hmm.
into the last dance, and we carried it to the end.
So, coach, let me ask you this: what was special about that year's group, and how would you describe their identity?
I mean, what was special was just the camaraderie in the locker room itself. I mean, if you could have been in the locker room and seen how everybody was gelling, and it wasn't just, hey, we're grinding. They were spending time with each other outside of the gym, and they were just buddies. It was a big family, and I mean, that's something that you look for there. It just made it extra special because you could tell the chemistry was there and building, and it made it fun.
Hmm. So, like you said, the camaraderie and the relationships and them hanging outside the court. But, coach, how do you build that type of winning culture year after year, especially at the prep level where your roster is changing every year? You're sending guys off to these high major schools, but you also got guys that staying, and then you got these brand new guys that never even step foot on this type of level, let alone play with these type of players. How do you build that camaraderie in your locker room?
Well, it starts with two key things here, Sniper. So the first one is Coach Dre Pope. He instilled what it is to be a breaker in myself. You know, I was on his staff last year. We took care of business. He set the tone from the top. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm doing. I'm setting the tone out of the gate. And the second key cog is your team captain. Your team captain's got to buy in. He's got to understand what it's like to be a breaker. And Jay did that last year, and Cole Collins is stepping in and doing it this year. He demands attention. He demands, every a grind. He demands everybody's attention to get after it, and he expects everybody to get after it, and he holds people accountable. If you're not in the gym, he's calling you. Where are you at? Let's
Mm,
go. Hey, who wants to get extra reps? And so, I mean, the coach passes the team captain, but really the team captain is what sets that tone and keeps it going. So the rollover in the prep and us sending guys to high level, well, the team captain is a big reason why everybody goes to high level. I mean, yes, Jick is a top two player in the country, and he is an absolute monster. But Jay set the tone in that locker room last year, and Jay was distributing, and he is a big reason why Trey's at Georgia Tech. Jay's on his way to Jackson State himself. Jick's top two in the country. Shane was stroking three balls all year long. He's got his verbal to Texas. And
mm-hmm.
so he and Cole had lots of outside conversations about holding people accountable and how to set tone. And, Jay being the mentor guy that he is, he's going to help make sure that Cole is carrying that torch the right way.
Okay. It sounds like a lot of leadership is being had from the player's perspective, and that has to be a trickle down effect from Coach Trey Pope to now yourself, and now you're just keeping everything going with leadership from the players. But Coach, I have to ask you, what are some non-negotiables in your program on and off the court?
Well, on the court and off the court in the classroom, it's worth it. Work ethic. If you're not putting in the time, you're not putting in the grind, you don't belong in the Bay. We don't we don't want you there. If you don't want to work, don't come out to Cal. Stay wherever you're at. That's first and foremost. The second one is you got to always be hungry on the court. We, we got a banner last year. Well, now it's a banner or bust. We're not satisfied. One, you work for the next one. That's just how it is. You got to expect to win, and you got to work to win. Off the court, I like to see my guys out in the community, helping in the soup kitchens, doing the big brother, big sister deals.
Hmm.
You know,
Community service.
all carry back to yes, community service. You got to help the community that's up and you become who you are.
Hey,
Those are the three biggest cogs to me. You got to work on and off the court, whether it's the classroom, it's in the gym, it's in the weight room. You got to work for it. You got to stay hungry to be better at whatever you're doing. In the gym as a ball player, in the classroom as a student, whatever it is, stay hungry, and you got to be willing to give back to what's helped build you.
got it. It's all great things. Great things. Things that don't necessarily translate to the court, but translate to their lives and how they're going to be able to live their lives and the the I would say the morals instilled inside of them that comes out on the court, even though it's not about basketball. I love that. Okay, coach. After a championship season, how do you keep your guys hungry and focused on what's next?
Well, a couple things. I mean, you got Shane and you got Jick back. and they're going to set the tone. You know, we had a few guys enroll early. DeBaron was in there. Ty Wallace was in there early. Ty Bays was in there early. So they were on campus. They were around the school, you know, just seeing what it was like to get after it. Now they want to go get that banner of their own. And
Hmm.
guys like Jick and Shane, they got one, but one's not enough. You know, you got to, we tell them day in and day out, like, you can't be satisfied if you want to be the best. You got to stay showing everybody that you're the best. You got to work for it. You know, one banner is great, but two banners is better. And it's just trying to keep them hungry and getting after it. And, you know, you let them know if you're at the top, you know, all these guys are wanting to get these big major offers and looks to go to different schools. And you got to be at the top to do that.
Well,
You got to show them that you are the best and then the best.
100%. I agree with you, and especially now that they have won the championship, they are no longer the hunter. They are the hunted. They have the target on their back, and everyone's gonna give their best game to y'all every night just to get that offer or to get that status or to get that tweet about them. Because if you beat the championship team, well now, hey, you're something to talk about. Now you're the face of the media, or now you're something to talk about in the media, and that's what everyone is trying to do. So, but with all that being said, what does this all season look like for your program, knowing that you have a target on your back? And is there any players to keep an eye out on?
Yeah, I mean, so what the program kind of looks like and what we're building here in the off season, knowing everybody's coming, is, you know, we're demanding excellence in our workouts, in our shooting drills. You know, we're not satisfied with a mediocre performance. If there's a mediocre run or a mediocre workout, then the guys are in the gym getting after it again. They're not satisfied with mediocrity, and we can't be. Everybody's coming for us. I mean, there's good squads out there. You know, Beast of the East, Best Coast, Yacht Club. Coach Redbud's going to be kicking his team full cylinders. Like, there's a lot of clubs coming, and they got the skill to do it. And
Hmm.
these boys know that if they don't stay getting after it, that they might get dethroned, and none of them want that. They want to show that they came to the Bay to win, and they want to keep it that way. As far as players to watch, I mean, obviously everybody knows we got the big monster, Jake Lee. He's a stud.
Phew.
No, we don't really need to touch too much on him because everybody already knows about him.
Hmm.
And Shane, you know, coming off of being one of the top 3 3-point shooters in the country last year, he's going to continue doing his thing. Um, but a couple of the fresh faces to look for. I mean, one, you're going to see Cole Collins. He's our team captain. Um, he's not necessarily always going to fill the stat sheet, but he's going to play his role, and that's, you need those key calls. You can't have 5 stars. You got to have however many stars you got, and everybody else fill on the backside of that. So that's a guy to look out for. He's still got 2 years of prep.
Hmm.
Ty Bays, that's my dark horse right there. I mean, you've seen some of the open runs that he's been in. He's got 2 years left. He's going to be an absolute monster. He can hit no matter the offensive scheme, and he's no slouch on D. And then, honestly, I mean, I could go on and on about everybody. Ty Wallace is another one. He's always in the gym. He's always getting after it, defensive, offensive. He's a workhorse. It doesn't matter. And probably the last guy that I want to touch on is my new North Carolina man, Kevin.
Hmm.
Um, he's a shooter. I mean, not to steal your name, Sniper, but the man is a sniper.
Okay, we
You
shall
you
find
guys will
out.
see come season time.
We shall find out.
That's the three ball man right there to watch for. And
If
he's
you,
not stuck there though. I'll tell you, he's going to get in and get after it. So
I hear you, Coach Knight, and I love you, but the sniper name does not come easy. So if you think he's a sniper, the real sniper's gonna have to watch and give him some critiques. And if he's a sniper, I will be the first person to shake his hand and put the sniper tag on his name. But if he's not a sniper, I can definitely help him out and give him some drills that help him become a sniper. Coach, last but not least, what advice would you give other coaches chasing their first championship? Since you was in the program, you know how it was done, and now you're the head of the helm now, and you're gonna be doing it again. What advice would you give coaches just trying to do it for the first time?
well, I would say the first thing would be is when you're out on the recruiting trail, everybody wants all the studs, but you got to make sure that the chemistry meshes with what you've already got going in your locker room.
Hmm.
Everybody kind of underplays that point that, well, if we get five studs, we can't be beat. Well, I hate to tell some of these guys, but you can have five studs, but if they don't mesh very well, then you got five hungry mouths to feed in one basketball.
That's right.
So my first piece of advice to them would be make sure you're not just recruiting talent, you're recruiting person too. See kind of his personality, how it meshes with what you've got in the locker room. Is it fitting a role? Is he going to be in there and be hungry? Or are these other guys going to outwork him? You want to, iron sharpens iron. You want these guys getting after with each other and challenging each other day in and day out. And if a guy walks in, his personality is just, I'm the man. I don't got to do much. I'm just going to show up and be me. That's not a good look necessarily. So that's my first piece of advice is, don't just recruit the talent, recruit the person too and his personality. And then the second piece of advice is you set the tone. You set the tone with the grind. You set the tone with the workouts. You set the tone in the community. I mean, it starts with the coach. If the coach doesn't care and he's not grinding, he's not working, he's not chasing banners, the team's not going to do it. They'll fall back and just go with the flow. You set the tone at the top. Those are kind of my two biggest pieces of advice.
Hmm. Two excellent pieces of advice. The first one, as I will recap, and then we'll get you out of here because I know you're a busy man. You got a whole organization to run. But the first thing is, hey, recruit to your team. Don't recruit the player. Everybody wants to be a star, but you can't have five stars out there. There's not enough SimWorld basketball to go around. Recruit guys that want to be in your program, recruit guys that want to play a role, and recruit guys that want to win. That's all I heard you say. And the second thing I heard you say was it starts at the top. If you want your team to work hard, you have to work hard. Set the example by being the example as the head coach. Okay, Coach Knight, we appreciate your time and insight. I am Sniper J, and the whole Court General team is wishing you and your team none but the best of luck heading into next season. All eyes will be on the Bay Area Breakers. They are the champs. They are to be beaten. They are trying to two-peat. I wish you none but the best. Thank you for coming on the Court General. I truly appreciate everything. Do you have any final words?
No, I just want to thank you, Sniper Jay, for making me a part of the Court General family. It's always a pleasure talking to you. And the last thing I'll kind of say, we know we got the target, so come and get it, fellas.
They not ducking, no smoke. They know they got the target on their back, and they are inviting whoever wants to smoke to come and get it. That was Coach Knight and the Bay Area Bakers. They are the champs until they are not the champs anymore. Hashtag see the game, be the game. Peace.